You want to know how long I've been waiting for a good Fantastic Four movie? About 10 years. So, like, ever since 2005, a franchise was, like, dive bombing into, like, crappiness and all that stuff. And then we move on to 2015, and we expected a good Fantastic Four movie. We expected good action. We expected good stories. We expected good jokes. We expected everything good for the Fantastic Four franchise. What are my thoughts about Fantastic Four? I'll get to those later. The first Fantastic Four movie, made back in 1994 by Roger Corman, I thought was a guilty pleasure. It wasn't that good, it was really cheap, but you know what? I thought it was really, really cheap and just a guilty pleasure overall. Then the next one came with Tim Story, who made the Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. And they were just unspeakably terrible. And now we move on to 2015 expecting something great, something awesome, something more awesome. I mean, come on, basically this Fantastic Four movie was going to be great, right? When we saw the trailers and all that stuff, we have Miles Teller as Mr. Fantastic, Kate Mara as Sue Storm, which was pretty an interesting choice, Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch, which I thought was going to be fine, and then you have Jamie Bell as the Thing, and you also have Toby Kebbell, who was Koba in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. We were expecting a good superhero movie once again. We were expecting a good Fantastic Four movie. We thought that nothing could be as bad as Batman or Robin. Nothing can be bad as Superman 4: Quest for Peace. Nothing can be bad as Catwoman. Nothing can be bad as Daredevil. Like, nothing can be as bad as those superhero movies. Nothing can be bad as those bad movies. Well, guess what? I was wrong. Dead wrong. I have been hearing more conversations about, oh, the Fantastic Four movie's gonna suck, it's gonna be horrible. You know what? They're right. I have to say this right now. Fantastic Four, or Fan-4-Stick, whatever the heck it's called, Fan-4-Stick is one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen in my life, and quite possibly the worst movie of 2015. Whoa, man, I thought 50 Shades of Grey was bad. I thought that was your worst of the year. After all, you made a 30-minute rant about it. Well, apparently, guess what? Fantastic Four, or Fan-4-Stick, is worse. It's worse. It's worse than 50 Shades. Hands down. After all I said about 50 Shades of Grey, I completely apologize. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I apologize for it being so crass and so demeaning and so overreacting in that review. Because guess what? This one deserves more hatred and more rage than 50 Shades of Grey does. It's not saying that 50 Shades of Grey is horrible. I mean, it is. It's freaking awful, but this one, it's going down to the pits of hell. I'm sure of that. How bad is it? Well, it's worse than hearing a review of Lights, Camera, Jackson. Does that answer your question? So the plot of Fan-4-Stick is that Miles Teller and his group of crew get together and they go into another dimension and then they get superpowers and then, yeah. You know the basic whole thing about the Fantastic Four. Why should I even tell you about the plot? Because it's obvious about what happens. And like, I gotta say to all the people out there who are working on this, what happened on the set? What happened? I have to know. Is this like the same Edgar Wright thing with Ant-Man? Is this like the same thing with World War Z when everything was a colossal total wasted potential, but World War Z ended up being a really, really good movie? I don't know about it, but I'll tell you what. I'm not going to blame it on Josh Trank, because I know he does incredible movies like Chronicle. I'm not going to blame the cast either. You know what? Actually, I am. Because they expect to be in a better movie than this. I mean, like, look at this. All the cast you thought was going to be great. I mean, you have Miles Teller as Reed Richards over there. He looked like he can be a good Reed Richards and all that stuff. But from what I saw and what many of you saw, he looked like he didn't even care. He acted like he wanted to act as bland as totally possible because of like how the script is so jumbled up and terrible and filled with terrible dialogue. Kate Mara as Sue Storm, also bland and terrible. The Thing is very, 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 very bland. They're so bland that you don't even care about what's going on in their lives. Michael B. Jordan, I am sorry. I am so sorry. You were in Fruitvale Station. You were in Chronicle. You're gonna be in Creed. and you're gonna be in this freaking piece of crap movie. I'm disappointed in you. And like, for people who are called the Fantastic Four, you don't even care about them. They hate each other. Like, basically, they're just unlikable to the point where you don't even care about their situation. They're just like, hey, Johnny Storm. Yeah, what is it? I have made a formula that can make this machine go to a different dimension. Nah, whatever. Really? Really? You don't care at all? Nah, I don't really care about that stuff. I'm just making a machine. But Johnny! Go back and fantasize in your journal about how Sue Storm is gonna be with you for the rest of your life. Like, you don't even know why they're even called the Fantastic Four in the first place. I can see them as understudies for the Fantastic Four, but the Fantastic Four should go to someone that is really charismatic and really three-dimensional and really good. Kind of like one of the Marvel movies. No, basically, we get boring characters that nobody likes and everyone hates for the most of the movie. When they do get their powers, the CGI in this, it looked like something made back in 1990s. Or like in the 1980s. That level of bad. The worst by far is Mr. Fantastic's one. And I'm just looking around someone, can anyone make a good Fantastic Four CGI effect for Mr. Fantastic? Abundantly not Fox. Because basically, one of the scenes is that after Miles Teller was finished being a stretchy person, he warps his face into someone else to be in disguise. And like, when you see the face like morph into Miles Teller's face, it looked like something from college level, like community college level. Sue Storm's effects were very typical and just like bland to look at. Even though she never turned invisible, even though she's called the Invisible Woman. Johnny Storm in this, oh, okay. Johnny Storm looks like something from 2000. Like the year 2000. It looks terrible. This is awful! And let's just not forget the Thing in that movie. I know everyone was like, hey, the Thing was good. I don't want a little orange-green turd. I want there to be a rock monster. Yeah, a terrible rock monster at that. I mean, for gosh sakes, he looks like an orange CGI version of the rock biter from Neverending Story 3. I'm not kidding. Now, the green screen is extremely noticeable because this is a green screen effect. All it is a green screen shown in the background, and that's it. It is awful looking, and it is extremely noticeable. Here's the thing about the editing. The editing, it moves from one segment to another with no explanation or rhyme or reason whatsoever. So like, he's 10 years old in middle school, and then he moves on to being in high school. Why? Who cares? And then it moves on to another scene. 18 months later, they get their powers. Why? Who cares? All that is just poor explaining of what is happening and just poor editing for my part. Can I say something about Toby Kebbell? Toby Kebbell is an amazing actor. I mean, I'm not kidding. He was Koba in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, my favorite movie of 2014. But here's the catch. He is setting out to play Dr. Doom, one of the greatest Marvel villains ever made. He was the inspiration of Darth Vader. And like, what do we see this? This is Dr. Doom. I'm like, what the heck did he look like? Like, I am in words to what he, like, this is Dr. Doom. This is Dr. Doom in Fantastic Four, or Fan-4-Stick. And you want to know his powers? He blows up people's heads, and he's an earthbender. Yeah, that sounds like an actual Dr. Doom. And the entire movie is so boring. This is a superhero movie. You're supposed to have things to happen. Well, guess what? Nothing happens at all. Even at times where you're supposed to care about the people, you're not giving them time to know about these characters. You don't even care about the situation they're in. And basically, nothing happens in this entire movie. Why? Once you see the trailer, you just already saw the movie. Fantastic Four get their powers. They fight Victor Von Doom. There's nothing to spoil. Nothing happens. But hey, everything else I said was bad. The climax is the worst, most dumbest thing I've ever seen. Here's how the climax goes. They kill Victor Von Doom. They're like, oh, we should be the Fantastic Four. Why? Because we just killed Victor Von Doom. Even though we hated each other all those years, we should still be called the Fantastic Four. Yep, it was terrible. Fantastic Four has really bad acting, really bad editing, really terrible, cringe-inducing dialogue, atrocious CGI effects. The climax is the worst thing ever. Victor Von Doom looks like a complete joke. And like, you know, when I said about 50 Shades of Grey, how it was like the worst movie of the year, not anymore. Because here's the thing, I have 5 movies for worst of the year: Pixels, Terminator Genesis, Hot Pursuit, 50 Shades of Grey, and now this turd. Because I'll compare these to the Fantastic Four movie. And it's all for entertainment purposes. With Terminator Genesis, it can entertain fans of Terminator, even though fans of Terminator will probably hate it, but still, people who either want to see an action movie or are a fan of the Terminators can go have a fun time with it. Pixels is for the Happy Madison crew. People who love Happy Madison, love video game nostalgia, they're gonna go see this movie and they're gonna go enjoy it. Hot Pursuit are for people who either watch Modern Family because of Sofia Vergara, or they just want to see a comedy just to waste time and all that stuff. 50 Shades of Grey is for the Twilight audience and for the housewives that basically read romantic novels all their time and are fond of this franchise. People are fond of the fact that it was fan fiction from Twilight. Even though it was insulting to women and men, ladies still went to the theaters and saw it. Fantastic Four pleases to no one. And even fans who want a good superhero movie or want a good action movie, you don't even get any action because you only get one action scene in the movie, and that's towards the very end, like the worst climax of the year. Is it worse than 50 Shades of Grey? Yes. Is it the worst movie of 2015? Yes. And does it earn a 0 out of 5? Yes! I am in utter shock at how terrible this movie is. Like, I don't even know who to blame. The director, the editor, or the cast, or 20th Century Fox, or Marvel. I don't even know who to blame. Because I expected a good superhero movie. I expected to have a good Fantastic Four movie. Well, guess what? I didn't get those chances. Because you know what? We're gonna have to wait 10 more years, or perhaps 5 more years, until we get a good Fantastic Four movie. And it's gonna be hard, because 20th Century Fox, either you guys transfer your rights over to Marvel, or you're gonna have the same franchises run into the ground. Anyway, that is my review of Fantastic Four. Comment below, let me know what you thought about this abomination. Find me on Facebook, Google+, or private message me on YouTube if you feel like it. My name is Luke Nukem, and you have to blow it away and never, ever see Fantastic Four.